It's beyond words. When I got the call from Kathy yesterday, and she asked me if I would speak, well, I want you to know that during that time and the time I'm standing here, my mind has been a whirlwind of memories. A whirlwind of memories. There is no way that I could stand here and explain to you what Beit Tehila and the Dreyer family and the Messer family, and of course, Pastor Nick's family. You can't explain it. You have to live it. You have to live it and to enable to understand it. I came from a family of, not really a family, I came into learning to dance and tumble and things like that because of my elder sister who had very serious illnesses, and the doctor advised my mom to take her to a place where she could get a lot of exercise. So my mom, being a wonderful mother, took her to dancing classes. And of course, I was 2 years younger than her, so I was tagged along, and I had a 2-year-old sister under me. So the three of us, most nights, were there at this dance class. And it wasn't just a typical dance class. We learned kind of movements of the different nations. Where does that come from? The nations, hey. Right at a very early age, we were learning how to dance like the Russians do, parade on a deck like the sailors do, and all of these different things that now, years and years later, I can relate back to the nations of Beit Tehila. So it came a time when I was classified as kind of like a professional, and I started to tour with a group of other youngsters in the theaters. And we used to open the first part of the music, and the second half, and after that with dance and with tumbling. And cut a long story short, when I was 15, I was working in the London Palladium, which is like Broadway here, and worked there for 2 years with my sister. And while we were there, there's a tradition with the royal family that they have what they call a command performance. And this command performance is you have to perform. And the money that they received from the participants goes to a big charity. Well, lo and behold, because we were already working in that specific theater, the London Palladium, we automatically were included in that command. And so we performed before the King and Queen. And at that time, the present queen, who was the longest reign of any queen, was a princess, and her sister Margaret was a princess. So it was the late king and queen and present queen and that we performed before. And that brings me to this important part of our journey. Because at 17, I was on board a ship coming to America and had my 18th birthday on board ship. And because we were performers, we were given a real treatment, but in that treatment, we had to perform for everybody, you know. And so the dance has always been a part of my life. And I had come through a Methodist church, a Baptist church, because I need immersion was the right thing to do. I went to a full gospel church because I knew speaking in tongues was biblical. And lo and behold, my granddaughter was going to the same Christian school as the Dreyer girls. So we knew them vaguely, and we would go to some, different celebrations, especially if there was people coming as missionaries, and if a missionary there was from Israel, we were there, my sister and I, and always there were the Dryers. And we were so drawn to the Dryers, to the way they presented the dance and all of this. Our spirit being was just exhilarated. And so we asked them this time that they were performing at this missionary part, and we asked them, where are you meeting? And lo and behold, they were meeting at the very church that we were going to on a Sunday. They were going there on a Saturday. I mean, God is just so good. So naturally, we started going, but we didn't want to hurt our pastor, so we were going on a Saturday. We were going on a Sunday. But fortunately, this brought us to a time when we actually were in Israel, and I was sitting next to Pastor Ticker in the lobby, and she turned to me and she said, Pam, would you like to be in the dance team? She knew nothing of my background or anything. And I was still pretty elderly even at that time, and I thought, wow, that would be a blessing, I don't remember if my granddaughter Rebecca was in the dance team at that time or not. But anyway, that brought us to, I could stand here for hours telling you about those conferences and how absolutely God-giving. But what Beit Tehila mostly has taught me, that though I was privileged to dance and perform between the King and Queen of England and his family, Beit Tehila has taught me there's nothing finer than dancing for our King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And we will be dancing before him forever and ever and